Hi everyone, welcome back. Today I have the most special guest ever on my channel, my grandma, and I did her makeup today. So this is the finished look, and if you want to see how we got it, please keep watching. I do want to disclaim the video, I am not a makeup artist, so I did the best that I could.
I disagree.
But I hope you enjoy, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and let's get started. We're gonna start with some eye cream because that's very important. This is what we're using, what I normally use. You don't normally apply eye cream, do you?
Mm-hmm. I do.
We're gonna use some of this, the Embryolisse Lait-Creme, I guess is how you say it. This is the one that everyone always talks about how amazing it is for under makeup. How does that feel?
Good.
Good.
Mm, really good.
Okay, now we're gonna use the Patrick Ta lip mask because we do not need our lips to be dry. Okay, now purse your lip together. So we're gonna use this sunscreen. This is the Beauty of Joseon sunscreen with SPF 50. This is new to me, but I've been testing it out for a week or two and I like it. Do you use sunscreen under your makeup?
Mm-hmm.
What
Always.
kind?
I've been using the Neutrogena 60.
Oh, good. Did you use sunscreen when you were younger
No.
under your makeup?
Mm-mm. I didn't.
This one is really, it looks kind of scary when you put it on. It looks kind of white, but it's not really. It's goes away. It really sinks in. Okay. Now we're gonna let that sink in and then we'll start the makeup.
I love e.l.f.
Yeah.
Everything I've ever had that was e.l.f. I like.
I do too. e.l.f. is, I mean, a lot of this stuff is e.l.f., but it's good. All right.
So you don't use a primer on a daily?
No, I don't.
We're not being recorded.
We are. I mean, we're just chatting. Yeah. It doesn't have to be serious. Right. So we're going to use some e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. You probably never had primer on ever, have you?
No.
We're going to try it. Because this, you'll probably feel it. It kind of gets tacky.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it keeps your makeup on. It kind of gives something to cling to.
Mm.
Now we're going to do my favorite thing in the whole world, which is Corrector. And we're going to use her Corrector, the same one that I use, but hers is, I think, one shade darker than mine. So yours is medium to dark. Bisque. Do you use this every day?
Mm-hmm. Every day.
Do you ever put them on your little sunspots that
I do.
you have? Yeah.
And the big ones too sometimes.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just going over any area where she has some sunspots with the Corrector. A lot of times these bisque colors do really well with brown pigment on your face. Okay, we're gonna use this L'Oreal True Match Nude in my shade, which is light, but I'm gonna mix in a little bit of these Drunk Elephant drops, the bronzer drops, just to make it a little bit darker because she's, I would say you're like medium, light medium skin tone. I do not like this about this. This dropper does not work well. In fact, it doesn't really work at all. Okay, so I'm just gonna add just a little drop. And then I'm using my Smashbox blurring foundation brush. You actually have this brush, don't you?
I do.
The same brush was my recommendation.
My favorite one.
For concealer, I'm going to use the Kosas Revealer Concealer. And for neutral, and I'm going to use this little Smashbox concealer brush. Now I'm going to take the damp sponge and just kind of lightly tap over it just to pick up any excess. We're going to do some cream bronzer, and she has this little Milk Makeup bronzer, a little mini one, but you don't feel confident using it. So we're going to do it.
Sure, I know how to use it.
Okay, so I personally think you should warm it up a little bit on your hand, because it kind of dries over like on the top like this. And then you can either get it like from your hand, or I normally get some of it on a brush like this. And this is a Fenty bronzer brush. And then I kind of tap it off on my hand a little. And then I just tap it, kind of like you do with foundation. I don't swipe or anything, because if you swipe, you're going to move everything that's underneath. You normally do powder. You would probably choose powder bronzer over cream bronzer, right?
I've tried several different ones. The powder goes on quickly, you know. You don't have to work with it as much.
Now we're going to do some cream blush. So we're going to do this one from e.l.f. This is the shade Bermuda, because she has never used a cream blush before, which we all know how I feel about blush in general, but especially cream blush. So I'm going to use that same brush we used for the foundation, which you could do that too. Use the same brush if you used a cream blush, because it kind of has foundation on it already, so it kind of helps it blend in a little bit better.
Oh, I like how it looks.
Everybody should use cream blush, in my opinion. And I always take a little bit on my nose. You can even bring some up here, like whatever's left on the brush. Okay, we're gonna use some powder blush now. I'm gonna use this one from Neutrogena, the Healthy Skin Blush in Rosy. And I'm just gonna tap this on over where we put that cream blush. You probably never do both, do you?
No, but I will.
Before we set with powder, we're gonna go over the face one more time with a barely damp sponge. Sponge is your best friend.
Yes.
Especially if you mess up. Sponge can fix most things. For some powder, I'm going to use Maybelline Fit Me powder in the translucent color. And the key to me with powder is you just want to apply just a little bit. We don't want to do too much. That's when things start to look cakey. We're moving on to eyebrows. We're going to use e.l.f. Wow Brow, and we're going to use shade Taupe. When you do your brows, do you just use this alone? You use pencil too?
They're wispy and thin.
You have a good bit of eyebrow hair though. Okay, so we're going to use my CoverGirl pencil in soft brown, because I don't have a taupe pencil. So we're just gonna use a really, really light bit of this. You actually have a lot of eyebrow hair. Some of it's really light, so you just can't see it, but you have a lot.
Oh, good.
Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of eye primer. So I'm gonna use the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. And I'm just gonna very, very lightly apply just a little bit of this, just to even out the eyelids. This is actually a really good color for your skin tone. Okay, now I'm gonna use this from e.l.f., the No Budge eyeshadow in Sandstone. I used this in the last drugstore video that you would have seen. And I'm just gonna lightly apply a little bit of this kind of all over. So on the lid, and then kind of bring it upward just a little bit. But this one is really, really pigmented, so I'm using like a barely any. Do you normally put anything on your eyes, or you just...
Well, not always, but I usually like it when I do.
Yeah, you don't have to do a lot, but just a little bit of something kind of.
Your eyes in your videos never look really made up. You know, they just look really, really good. Really
Probably
natural.
why I get comments that tell me my makeup always looks the same.
Oh my goodness.
Now I'm gonna use this little e.l.f. palette. This is the Bite Size palette in I Love You a Latte. I'm gonna use this second shade that's brown but not super, super warm.
And what is this brush?
This is a BK Beauty 202 brush. So this is the one I use the most in like every video. Because it's tapered, so you can blend with it, but it's not so big that it gets, if you have small eyes or you have hooded eyes, you don't want to use something that's too big or too like bulky because it kind of gets in the way. But I'm just putting just a little bit of that in the crease. Tell everybody how old you are.
I'm 81.
81. I hope I make it to 81. I hope I look like you when I'm 81.
Oh, you'll be looking really good.
I don't know about that.
We never get too old for makeup.
I certainly won't. I don't think, at least. We're gonna take this e.l.f. shadow stick in Cool Beans, and I'm gonna use this as eyeliner, or a little bit of, not really eyeliner, but just a little bit of definition on the eyelash line. So I'm just gonna kind of draw like just teeny tiny bit. We're gonna use this palette. This is the Urban Decay Naked 2 Basics palette. This one, I actually gave you this one. This, because you had one and you used a lot of yours up. This is the one that I used in the video you might have seen, the 12 Days of Palettes. One of my most viewed videos ever, for some reason. I don't know why. But I'm gonna use a little bit of the gray, so the dark gray. And I'm using my favorite BK Beauty 208 brush, and we're gonna try to do a little bit of a wing, like a, not even really a wing, just like a little flick. Keep your eye open now. This is the key, because you have more of a hooded eye like I do. Kind of have to go over the fold.
And the common word for that is wrinkles.
Well, no, it's not, because I have a hooded eye too, and I don't have wrinkles really, but mine is also hooded. All right, so leave it open. That's why I like this brush, is because it's so tiny. All right, I'm gonna can you curl your lashes at all?
No, I'm gonna let you do them.
This is a lot of pressure. Look up a little.
You better open them or close them.
Open them. Like, relax them a little bit.
Because there's not many there.
I know, and I don't want to pinch your eye.
Don't worry about that.
Oh, I'm worried about it. And this is kind of a larger eyelash curler. I don't think I have. Wish I had a smaller one, but I don't.
That was totally painless.
Okay. We're going to use one of my favorite mascaras ever.
Okay.
L'Oreal Voluminous Balm in Brown. I love this. I've seen a bunch of people. I feel like people either really like this mascara or do not like it at all. I love it.
Oh, yes. Just look.
It's pretty.
Where is my tooth?
I'm loving it.
Okay, now I'm going to use Milani, my favorite lip liner I talk about all the time, in All Natural. And I can guarantee you don't line your lips ever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one is really close to your natural lip color.
We bought a lip pencil when we were together.
Oh, we did?
Uh-huh.
I
And
can't
I use
remember
it.
which one it is.
It's in my bag.
Okay, now this is another one of my favorite things. This is L'Oreal Glow Paradise in Nude Heaven. And it's just kind of like a balmy lipstick. Kind of like a tinted lip balm, I guess.
Oh, goodness.
All right, now we're gonna add a little bit more blush because I always do that. I'm gonna use this one from Maybelline, this Fit Me blush in Mauve. It's a little bit of a brighter pink smile. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of the powder we used, so the Fit Me powder, and I'm just gonna add a little bit more, like right here. I always do this at the end, usually on myself. I like brush back through my eyebrows. It kind of helps disperse the color a little bit. Okay, and then we will use a setting spray. We're gonna use the milk spray. This is my brand new one. I just got this.
Oh, my.
What do you think?
I love it.
Good. Okay. Okay, this is the final look. What do you think of the makeup?
I love it.
I'm
Thank
glad.
you.
Thank you for being on my channel.
My pleasure.
Thank you for watching. I will list and link everything below, as I always do. And make sure to follow me over on Instagram if you're not already, at simply.blair, and TikTok, simply.blair1. And I will see you next time. Remember, simply be you. Bye.